On July 28, President Erdogan of Turkey made a provocative statement regarding the Israeli-Palestinian conflict, hinting at potential military action against Israel. This announcement sparked significant controversy and introduced new uncertainties into the already volatile situation in Gaza. Erdogan's remarks clearly signaled a shift in Turkey's policy towards Israel. Initially, Turkey sought to maintain a balanced stance, avoiding immediate condemnation or aggressive responses to Israeli actions. This changed when Erdogan addressed the killings of civilians, specifically mentioning Israel, which marked a departure from Turkey's previous approach. In October 2023, the situation escalated with renewed hostilities in Gaza, leading to heightened tensions in the Middle East. The once restored diplomatic ties between Turkey and Israel were now under severe scrutiny. While Erdogan's government had been relatively reserved in its response to Israel's incursions, this was seen as a marked contrast to their typical stance. This shift in attitude was largely driven by strategic interests rather than moral considerations. Its primary concern was to avoid exacerbating the conflict, which could jeopardize the recent efforts to normalize relations and the economic benefits that come with it. Turkey's historical relationship with Israel dates back to 1948, when it was one of the first countries to recognize Israel's sovereignty. Differences emerged in the early 21st century due to the rise of Islamism within Turkey, particularly following the 2010 Gaza flotilla incident where Turkish activists were killed during an Israeli raid. Erdogan's government, after winning re-election, sought to reposition Turkey strategically, aiming to reduce its geopolitical isolation and secure economic growth. Collaborating with Israel would offer substantial investments, markets, and technology, crucial resources for Turkey's current economic needs. The desire to prevent the conflict from undermining these gains is evident in Erdogan's diplomatic maneuvers. Erdogan aimed to position Turkey as a mediator rather than a mere supporter in the Israeli-Palestinian conflict, drawing parallels with his role in the Russo-Ukrainian crisis. By facilitating a resolution, Turkey could enhance its international standing and leverage in negotiations with Western powers. This strategy required maintaining neutrality, which Erdogan later seemed to abandon, aligning more closely with the Palestinian cause. As the situation in Gaza unfolded, Turkey's diplomatic approach towards both parties evolved. Erdogan's commitment to the Palestinian side became more pronounced, especially after Lebanon's armed attacks on the Golan Heights led to casualties and the subsequent halt of Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu's visit to the United States. Although Erdogan's recent strong statements underscore Turkey's determination not to let a Gaza-like incident recur, affirming the country's readiness for potential action akin to its intervention in Libya. These remarks have escalated tensions between Turkey and Israel, adding an element of uncertainty to the already complex situation in Gaza. The global community is reeling from Erdogan's assertion, which not only signals a new wave of potential conflict but also reflects a stark shift in Turkey's stance towards the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. The primary catalyst behind this 180-degree turn in Erdogan's position appears to be the internal political pressures that Turkey is currently grappling with. Following the electoral landscape post-2023 elections, religious conservatism has taken center stage in Turkish society. The surge of public demonstrations in support of Palestinian rights, coupled with the potential for unrest targeting U.S. military bases in the Middle East, has created a significant demand for action on the part of the Turkish government. This sentiment is deeply rooted within the electorate, particularly among those who form the backbone of Erdogan's political base, thereby compelling him to address their political aspirations. In the context of urban centers like Ankara and Istanbul, where opposition parties hold sway, maintaining and bolstering support becomes paramount for Erdogan. The political polarization that Turkey is experiencing intensifies the need for issues that can unite various factions. The conflict in Palestine emerges as one such issue, providing a common ground for political consensus. As Erdogan increasingly aligns with the Palestinian cause domestically, its political stability is reinforced. Internationally, Turkey faces the challenge of preserving its moral standing. As a strategic player bridging Europe and Asia, Turkey's ambition extends beyond regional dominance, aiming to ascend into the global top 10 while leading the Islamic world. Erdogan's self-proclaimed role as the voice of Muslim believers drives him to advocate on behalf of the Islamic community in international forums. His actions are inevitably influenced by global sentiments against Israel, with widespread sympathy for Palestinians, especially in the Islamic world. Facing isolation in the international arena due to the conflict, Erdogan's adjustment towards a more assertive stance towards Israel becomes necessary. Strengthening ties with the Palestinian cause not only garners goodwill from the Islamic world, but also counters the geopolitical dynamics that have sought to sideline Turkey in the mediation of the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. Countries like Egypt and Qatar, both with vested interest in the region and distinct roles in facilitating dialogue, have stepped forward to take on the mediation role that Turkey was unable to secure. Turkey's role as a protector of Islam and a supporter of Hamas has led Western nations, including the United States and Israel, to question its ability to act as a mediator in the conflict. This has opened avenues for other countries with more direct ties to the region and to Israel, such as Egypt and Qatar, to play pivotal roles in mediating negotiations between Israel and Hamas. These shifts reflect the complex interplay of domestic politics, international relations, and geopolitical considerations that influence Turkey's evolving stance on the Israeli-Palestinian conflict.